Are you working to enter the automation engineering career? Do you feel confused? Every automation journey begins the same way, in confusion. You might ask, but why? Well, because it's not a machine. We can't program your career. And then we ask, why? Well, because we're human. Well, hello, I'm Paul Godinez. What if I told you that the massive wall of technology you're standing in front of, that you're trying to learn, can systematically be taken apart so that you can discover what each piece does, how it connects, and what it controls? At first glance, it's just all about code. But as you learn, something begins to shift. The logic becomes simpler, the systems become interconnected, and you can see it in your thinking. The wall isn't something you're climbing anymore. It's something you're tapping into. You're beginning to integrate the technology into your mind and eventually, for many of us, into your soul. That's what an automation journey really is. The merging of man and machine. You don't lose yourself in technology. You expand through it. Every new system you master rewires how you think, communicate, and perform. Inside Logix, that's what we're trying to build. Not just knowledge, but the architecture of transformation. Using strategies to turn you into something greater than hard work alone. Human intuition fused with engineering precision. But, here's the truth. Your career isn't meant to be a mystery. It can also be a system just waiting to be designed, one that you control. We've built systems that turn ordinary technicians into adaptable and capable professionals. Not by teaching them to be robots, but by helping them think strategically. Why do you need a strategy? Well, a strategy is a shortcut to success. It's not about skipping hard work. It's about eliminating wasted time, confusion, and insecurities. A solid strategy creates structure, flow, and focus. It gives you a clear map of what to do next and why it matters. Without one, you're in reactive mode. You don't know what to learn, who to connect with, or even what type of work and job you'd do. Think about it for a moment. Do you have a map that can walk you through learning a skill to get your first programming job? How about one that you can use all the way through becoming a manager, maybe even a contractor, or even starting your own tech company? That's what your career should look like. I understand that your goal right now might be to just get a job as a PLC programmer. You're probably thinking, if I can just get that job, I would be happy. But consider this, skill might get you an interview. But like all systems, that's only the first step. You have interviews, technology platforms, leading projects, traveling for work if that's what you end up doing, contract work, even starting your own business. There's more to your career than programming. How about instead I share a strategy that adapts, helps you streamline your learning, recalibrating your decisions, and upgrades your opportunities. Think of it like building your own internal control system. Each decision adds logic, and each improvement adds precision, and every failure writes a better version of your career. That's what separates the reactive from the unstoppable. Part C3PO, always evolving, and part Terminator, durable enough to keep going no matter what your career throws at you. I want to share such a system with you today. I call it the SPIN framework. The SPIN framework is the architecture that empowers your evolution. It's how you develop depth, direction, and momentum in your automation career. SPIN stands for skill, portfolio, industry, and network. So let's break this down. Skill. Your skill is your core system, your foundation. It is your tools. It's the logic you know how to use, communication protocols that you're familiar with, and platforms that you've mastered. You don't need to know how to use every tool, invent it, but you need to be precise with what you do know. And we go deep into that with our strategies. Portfolio. Now, you need a good portfolio because it's an external interface. It shows the world what systems you're capable of working with, projects, simulation, and results you've performed, and it's proof of your evolution. We'll dig into that a little more in a minute. Industry. Industry is your environment. It's the type of industries you're comfortable in. You know the people, processes, and production realities of a specific industry. The best engineers are those who know an industry. And for entry-level techs and engineers, we use strategies to research industries to find the best fit and opportunities. They're not all equal. Network. Your network is your connection to opportunity. The people, the mentors, and the collaborations that can open doors to six-figure opportunities. No one builds a great career alone. The right relationships expand what you're capable of and multiply your results. Let me see if I can summarize this. And strategies don't work by themselves. You must design them. Everyone's different. And then you power them on. Each part of the SPIN framework might look simple on its own, but when we put them together, you start to see their real strength. Skill isn't just about learning to program. It's about understanding how everything connects. In your training, you'll answer hundreds of questions, and you'll need to get them right, or you'll waste time, at a minimum. The same goes for your career. Build a portfolio that can prove what you can do before you ever meet an interviewer. Learn your industry or pick a new one so you can find the best fit and the biggest opportunities. And build a network that keeps producing new connections and projects over time. That's a SPIN framework, a system that can take you from entry level to industry recognized professional. It ties your skills, portfolio, industry knowledge, and networking together into a cycle that keeps building on itself. It's how you move from just learning automation to truly living in it. You know, you might say, okay, Paul, what's the next step? Your automation journey could be chaotic, or it could be strategic, durable, and continually evolving. The difference is whether you design it that way. So I invite you to stay tuned to Inside Logix. I'll show you how to build the framework, apply your upgrades, and evolve into a professional who can perform with the precision of a machine. Because the future of automation isn't just about machines learning to think. It's about humans learning to think like systems. Until next time.